Good evening, farmers. I hope you guys are all okay. I welcome you all. I hope that you are ready for this presentation today, this webinar that I'll be hosting. So yeah, I welcome you all, guys. And thank you for making time for us to make sure that you become part of the webinar. Let me start by introducing myself to you. My name is Gcinikaya Kantibe, Livestock Technical Advisor at Red Meat Industry Services. I'll be your presenter today, presenting to you winter management and diseases in small stock. I believe that you guys already know what we're going to talk about today, or maybe you want to gain more knowledge in what we'll be talking about today, or maybe you assuming what is it that we'll be discussing today. Let me start by outlining the class rules first. You guys, please mute your mics, and then you will unmute yourselves at the end of the session when it's time for questions, because I'm gonna start with my presentation, do it from the start up until the end, and then at the end you guys will be given an opportunity to raise your hand, and then you'll be pointed, and then you unmute yourself, and then you ask a question. Yes, that's the rules that we'll go about. And then yeah, our presentation today is about winter management and diseases in small stock. Let's move to the first slide of our presentation. The first slide goes, it all starts with proper management. I guess we all know this one, farmers. Management is very key in your farming business. You have to make sure that the management is proper. Once you get the management right, everything is going to be fine. You're going to yield good results. You're going to your animals are going to perform very well. But when your management is poor, if your management is not correct, you're not doing things right, and you're not keeping the records of the previous years of what went wrong and what went right, then you're not gonna make it. Your animals are not gonna be fine. They're not going to be productive. They're not going to give you a strong lambs, and sometimes they won't even lamb, because it's gonna be difficult for them, as you will be managing them poorly. So yeah, it all starts with proper management. You have to plan your management, make sure that your management is proper. Production stage of your animals, very, very important. You must make sure that your animals are at the correct production stage in winter. When I'm talking about the production stage, I'm talking about the stage whereby your animals on gestation period. Are they lactating? Are they giving birth to lambs or kids? So you have to make sure that in winter your animals are in a correct production stage. For example, you cannot allow your animals to be lambing in winter. We all know that winter is a very critical season, in such a way that the felt is not in a good condition in winter. The grasses or the vegetation is not very nutritious in winter, and then our animals struggle a lot in winter, more especially your communal farmers. When you are a communal farmer, your animals are gonna travel long distances in search of feed. So yeah, you have to make sure that in winter you don't have lambs in winter, and also you have to make sure that in winter your animals are not heavily pregnant. You are not in a situation whereby your animals are heavily pregnant, and because once your animals are heavily pregnant, then the nutritional value of the nutritional requirements of your animal is going to shoot. Yeah, avoid lambing in winter at all costs. Try to lamb in autumn and in summer. Yes. So there's no way that you're gonna lamb in winter. I repeat that one. You make sure that you don't lamb in winter, because in winter it's cold. The felt is not in a good condition to support the nutritional requirements of the mother. And once it's like that, the mother is going to struggle to raise the lambs. It's going to raise weaker lambs. So please let's make sure that we don't lamb in winter. We only lamb in autumn and in summer. Secondly, nutrition and feeding. In winter, you have to make sure that you provide enough roughage from the camps that were rested for winter, or provide round bales and square bales for your animals. Roughage must be. You must make sure that roughage is available for your animals in winter, so that they can flourish. And also another problem in winter, you have to make sure that you prevent fell fires. You make fire belts. You make in a form of burning belts along the fences, or else you make sure that you scrape your roads in your farm. You make a road along the fence and then you scrape it. You make sure that there is no vegetation on the road. The roads are clean, so that in case of fire, your farm doesn't burn. Then you know that you are protected. The roughage is there available for your animals, even though it's sometimes it's not in a good, it's not palatable, it's not in a good condition. But then you will know that at least the roughage is available for your animals. The only thing that will be left for you as a farmer is for you to supplement. In winter, you will have to supplement protein and energy, which are the most important things. You have to supplement protein, because in winter the roughage doesn't have protein, and on the rumen of the animals there are rumen microbes. Those rumen microbes, they feed on protein. So when in winter, because the protein is less in grass, and then the population of the rumen microbes on the stomach decreases. So when you supplementing protein, you are indirectly feeding the rumen microbes. Then the rumen microbes are going to multiply and help the animal with digestion. The rumen microbes on the rumen, they help with digestion. They help with the breaking down of the grasses and unlocking all the nutrients that are available on the grass. So you have to make sure that you supplement your protein in winter, and also you must supplement energy. Energy is also a very good requirement in winter, to make sure that your animals are able to walk longer distances in search of food, and they can reach all the areas where there is enough food for them. And also in winter it's very cold, and as it is cold, the animal requires a lot of energy to regulate the body temperature, you see. So when you supplement energy, you're also helping the animal to increase the energy levels on their body, so that they can be able to regulate their body temperatures. And then you must plan fodder reserves. Make sure enough hay and silage produced or is bought in winter. It is always said that you must conserve feed for critical periods. So in summer, when it's raining and the veld is in good condition, you must make sure that you cut a grass, and then you bale it, and then you store it, or else you go to the guys who are selling your lucerne or your hay, or any type of grass that will be palatable for your animal, and then you buy it. Because when you buy it in summer and then you store it, in summer it's still cheap. Remember, it's cheaper to produce it, and the demand is very low. So you're gonna get it at a cheaper price, and then you store. And then come winter, you've got feed for your animals available. You see, instead of waiting for winter, and then in winter, that's when you go and buy in bales, then you will have a problem there, because the demand is very high, and the prices are going to increase, and then it's gonna cost you a lot. Graze smart, avoid overgrazing of camps, rotate camps to allow recovery. To those who have got farmers, make sure that you practice the rotational grazing. You do not overgraze your camps, and you do not overstock as well. Another thing that is very important in winter is your shelter and the protection of your animals. Make sure that your animals are protected. You've got shelter, maybe in a case of bad weather. When the weather is not good and it's too bad, you make sure that you protect your animals. Your animals are protected. Remember, we say that during cold weather, energy demands are increased. So in order for you to make sure that you don't lose your animals, you must make sure that you've got shelter for them, and you've got windbreaks for them. And also you identify camps in your farm. that you will put your animals in camps that are not in high areas, whereby there is too much wind and they're exposed to all sorts of bad weathers. You make sure that you choose the camps that are in low lying areas. That will do you good for you and for your animals as well. Also, the bedding as well. If you're culling your animals, make sure that with the bedding you use straw or dry grass, more especially for lambs and kids. If you maybe you've got lambs that were lambed in autumn, then in winter you must make sure that the bedding is always dry. There's no mud on the floor, and also you've got grasses that are there on the floor to make sure that it's warmer for your lambs and kids. Yes, farmers. And then we move to the next slide. The next slide now is about vaccination. Remember, we said that is management and diseases. Vaccination is very important, farmers. You have to vaccinate your animals in winter. Before the winter season starts, you have to make sure that you vaccinate your animals to keep them healthy. Prevention is better than cure. And prevention is cheaper. That's what I always tell the farmers. If you prevent, you do what you have to do, you vaccinate your animals, then you will be saving yourself a lot of money, because when you treat or when you're having an outbreak, it's going to be more expensive than when you have vaccinated your animals. So you have to make sure that you vaccinate to make sure that your animals are healthy. And you must have an annual health plan, which is very important again. Have an annual health plan. Go to your animal health technician or your state vet of your own area, and then you tell them that you ask them to draw up a vaccination plan for you, so that you can be able to prevent the diseases, the most important diseases that occur in that particular area of yours. And then you draw up your annual health plan, and then you vaccinate accordingly. Vaccination is very important. And then when you're vaccinating, you must make sure that you use your broad spectrum vaccines that prevent more than one disease. That one also is very important. Don't use a vaccine that will only protect your animal from one disease. Use maybe a vaccine that is a broad spectrum, that is going to protect your animals from more than one diseases. And also make sure that the vaccine, you boost it. Let's say maybe you're using a vaccine for the first time on your animals. You're using that particular vaccine for the very, very, very first time. That vaccine, it's a must that you boost it. You're gonna do it on the first day, and then 4 weeks to 6 weeks later, you boost that vaccine to make sure that your animals are fully vaccinated. And then healthy animals means productive animals. Sick animals means loss of profit. So if your animals are not healthy, then they won't be productive. They won't give you lambs. They won't give you any profit. They will be weak, and that will cost you a lot, because you're gonna spend a lot of money on them. Handle vaccines with care. Another important thing, farmers, you have to make sure that you handle the vaccine with care, because now you have to maintain the cold chain. When you buy the vaccine, make sure that you've got ice with you, or else at the co-op where you'll be buying the vaccine, they will give you a vaccine with a packet of ice, and then you make sure that you stick the vaccine to the ice up until you get home, and then you put the vaccine into your refrigerator, and then you put the ice underneath on your and you make sure that the ice freezes. And then in the morning when you go, I always prefer that when you vaccinate in the morning before it gets too hot. In the morning, you take your cooler box, and also when you're going to buy the vaccine, you must make sure that you have your cooler box with you. And then you buy the vaccine, you put it in a cooler box, and then you put in ice in there, and then you make sure that you maintain the cold chain. And also in the morning when you're going to the crowd with the vaccine, make sure that the vaccine is on the ice, and then so that you don't ruin the vaccine. And then again, another mistake that I think we are doing as farmers, when we're injecting, can we please use the automatic injecting guns? I know that they are expensive and stuff, but then let's try to get them, because now if you're gonna use the manual syringes, you put it inside the vaccine, you pull the vaccine, and then you go inject the animal, and then you come back again to contaminate the vaccine. I think that's also not a good practice, because it might be possible that you're killing the vaccine. If we're using an automatic injection gun like this one, can I please go back to one slide? Like this one here on this picture, you see that one. That one is connected on that automatic syringe, and then you just inject animals one way. You don't contaminate the vaccine, and then also you don't hold the vaccine with your hand. Remember, your hand is it's a little bit warmer. It's warmer, and then now you holding a vaccine with your hand, and also you're contaminating it with a needle. And also, when you're vaccinating, you must try not to change needles. I know that it won't be practical to use a needle for each animal, but at least try to inject 5 animals and then change the needle. 5 animals and then change the needle. Yeah, we must handle the vaccine with care in order for us to make sure that the vaccine is working, and also our animals are vaccinated. The first disease that we're going to discuss is pulpy kidney. Pulpy kidney, also known as enterotoxemia, caused by the bacterium Clostridium preferens type D, which produces toxins affecting the internal organs. The pulpy kidney is the most common disease in small stock, sheep and goats. This pulpy kidney is mostly triggered by a change in diet. Let's say we're moving from summer or autumn to winter. Or maybe it's winter like this, and the grass is dry, and then you immediately change the diet of your animals. You put them on greener pastures. That is going to trigger a pulpy kidney. Your animals are going to suffer from pulpy kidney, or else when you deworming in summer, you're giving them a dewormer in control of worms, internal parasites. That as well is going to trigger the pulpy kidney vaccine. So you must make sure that you vaccinate for pulpy kidney to make sure that your animals are protected. Every time when the season changes, you must make sure that you vaccinate for pulpy kidney. But then you can also vaccinate once annually. Make sure that every year you vaccinate your animals; they will be fully protected. And then when you're changing a diet, you make sure that you adapt your animals first. You don't just change a diet from the word go, and you let your animals graze on greener pastures or planted pastures for a very long time. Make sure that you adapt them gradually, and then you maybe on the first day you give them an hour or two, and then the third day, and then you increase the hours as you move forward, and not let them stay maybe more than 5 hours on the first day. Yeah, pulpy kidney, guys, we must make sure that we vaccinate for it. I'm sure a lot of farmers knows about this one, and it's problematic to them. Deworm before winter. That's very important as well. Before we go into winter, you must make sure that your animals are very clean. They do not have internal parasites, because now they will suffer. You can manage to be having bottle jaws and having animals that are highly infested with worms in winter, because remember, the felt is not giving them enough feed, and also you've got internal parasites that are busy parasiting your animal. So you must make sure that before winter season, your animals are clean. How do you make sure that your animals are clean? You firstly do a 5-point check before winter. Before you give them a dewormer, you do a 5-point check to check if are they infested with the internal parasites or not. You check the nose. When checking the nose, you'll be checking the mucus. If they do not have mucus on the noses, you're checking if maybe if there's the thick green or yellow mucus, that means that there is a worm on their noses, and then you will have to drench. And then you check the jaws, or you check the eye. When checking the eye, you do a pharmacia. There is the picture there that I have put, whereby you press the eyelids and then you open. If it's dark red, it means that your animal are healthy. You do not need to drench them. But then if they are pale, like white, they anemic, then you'll have to drench them. And that paleness means that your sheep are suffering from wireworms, are suffering from liver fluke. And then now you'll have to use a dewormer that contains wireworm and liver fluke. Yes. And also you check the jaws. When checking the jaws, you're checking for a bottle jaw. Bottle jaw is also a sign of high infestation of wireworm and your liver fluke. And then you check the condition at the back. You rub the spine of your animal, and if you feeling the bones, you feel that this animal is very thin. It's also a sign. It might also be a sign that this animal need to be drenched, because there are parasites that are busy parasiting internally. And then you check the tail if there is no diarrhea. There are two types of diarrheas. You must be able to differentiate between, there's a diarrhea which is caused by the worms, and then there's a diarrhea which is caused by a disease called coccidiosis. The one of the worms, it will if the one that is being caused by the worms, it will have worms in it, the eggs of the worms in it, and then the one of coccidiosis is going to be darker in color and it's going to stink. So yeah, you must be able to differentiate from the two. Or else, what you can do is to collect the dung samples. Collect the dung samples, take them to the lab and ask them to do a fecal egg count for you. A fecal egg count is gonna tell you that your animals are being infested inside, they've got worms or not. So yeah. Make sure that your animals before winter, they are clean of internal parasites, so that they can thrive and make sure that their nutritional requirements are met and there's nothing parasiting them. Then there's this another disease here, which is very important, which you must always make sure that you vaccinate before the change of season. It's either before the change of when you're getting into winter, or as when you're getting into summer. Pasteurella, which is a lung infection. Pasteurellosis caused by bacteria like Mannheimia haemolytica and Pasteurella multicocida is a significant disease in sheep, particularly lamb, leading to respiratory and systematic infections and potentially sudden death. This disease is often associated with stress and can be managed with proper management practices and vaccination. Yes, so you must make sure that you vaccinate first, and also the clinical symptoms of these diseases are it's mucus. On the previous slide, I said that when you're doing a 5-point check, you check the nose, and then when you're checking for worms, you're gonna say that the mucus on their noses is thick and yellow. That one is that one caused by a nasal port, and then the one which is the symptom of Pasteurella, the mucus it's wetty and runny, and then that one, you know that it's Pasteurellosis. And also heavy breathing. You can say that heavy and difficulty in breathing. That's also Pasteurella, which is very common in winter and in summer as well. More especially, it can be triggered as well by a sudden change in weather condition and the stressing of the animals. And yeah, so you must make sure that you vaccinate for Pasteurellosis before winter, so that you make sure that your animals are protected. And this one can be deadly as well. Can be deadly. You can lose a lot. And the treatment, you can treat it using your oxytetracycline. Any long-acting oxytetracycline, you can use it to treat this disease. You'll be fine. Blue udder. This one, blue udder is a term for a severe form of mastitis, an infection of the udder that can cause significant damage and even death in sheep and goats. This one is it's a disease that you have to make sure. This one goes along with mastitis because it is also caused by the bacteria that causes Pasteurella. This blue udder, it goes along with Pasteurellosis because it is also caused by the bacterium that causes Pasteurella. So when you vaccinate for Pasteurella, you have vaccinated for blue udder as well. So you must make sure that and this one, if your sheep is suffering from blue udder, then it means that the lamb is going to suffer. Because it won't get colostrum from the mother as the udder becomes so hard and nothing comes out of the teats. So you make sure that you vaccinate instead of, because now you'll be at risk of losing the mother and losing the lamb as well. So it's very important for you to make sure that you vaccinate. Vaccination is the key, guys. You must vaccinate. You can't take shortcuts, because another problem that it's very huge to farmers. Farmers, they always try to take shortcuts, and then shortcuts are putting us in trouble because they catch up with us. This blue udder is characterized by blue, black discoloration of the udder, often accompanied by gangrene, and primarily caused by bacteria like Mannheimia haemolytica, the one that causes pneumonia or Pasteurella as well. And then we move to the next slide, talking about black quarter. Black quarter, also known as black leg, is a serious bacteria disease that can affect sheep. This one is mostly common in cattle, but also sheep, more especially your wool sheep, they also suffer from black quarter as well. It is caused by bacterium Clostridium shovii and leads to rapid swelling and muscle damage. While more common in cattle, sheep can also contract the black quarter, and often after wounds like those from shearing or lambing. Yeah, so before your wool sheep are being shed, or before lambing, you must make sure that you vaccinate against black quarter to protect your animals. Before lambing, it is always advised that you vaccinate your animals 6 weeks before they lamb, and even before shearing. Make sure that you vaccinate before winter, because we usually share the wool sheep farmers, they usually share around October, when they know that it's already summer, there won't be any cold fronts, and then they start sharing their animals. So if you vaccinate in winter, by the time sharing arrives, your animal will be fully protected against the black quarter disease. Yeah. Let's move to the next slide. Winter external parasites. Firstly, there is a sheep scab, and then there is a red lice that we have to make sure that we vaccinate against, making sure that our animals are protected. Firstly, we're going to discuss sheep scab. Sheep scab, the main symptoms of sheep scab are that, like, your sheep will look like it has been bitten by the dogs, and you will see itself scratching against fences, biting itself, and doing all sorts of stuff, and having wool on the mouth. Then you know that your animals have got sheep scab. Sheep scab is a highly contagious skin disease in sheep caused by the Sophles ovis mites. It results in intense itching, skin lesions, and wool losses, leading to significant economic losses from farmers due to decreased production and treatment cost. So this one is highly contagious. The sheep scab is very, very, very contagious. So you have to make sure that you before winter you inject your animals with ivermectin or doramectin. You use any medication between doramectin and ivermectin. You inject it under the skin, because these mites, they suck blood under the skin. So it is important to make sure that you inject your animal with any ivermectin under the skin, or doramectin. You inject it under the skin, and then your animals are going to be fully protected. In a case of a breakout like this, you also going to use ivermectin to treat it. You use ivermectin, you inject ivermectin under the skin, and then you repeat again. if maybe you're using the ivermectin that have a concentration of 1%, you're going to inject it on the first day, and then you repeat again after 7 days, because now after the reason for you to repeat after 7 days is to make sure that you kill the eggs, because they say that the eggs will hatch after 7 days. Let's say if you inject today and then the mites have already laid eggs. So after 7 days, the eggs are going to hatch. That's why it is say that you must repeat again after 7 days and then inject, more especially with the 1% ivermectins. But then if it's a long-acting ivermectin that you'll be using to treat, and then you're only going to inject once. Yes, then let's move to the next slide, which is red lice. Red lice. This one it's different from a sheep scab in such a way that your sheep is going to look like it has been shown by a person. Red lice, specifically Bovicola ovis, are a common external parasites of sheep, causing significant economic losses due to irritation, wool damage, and potentially blowfly strike. They are biting lice, feeding on skin debris, scabs, and wool, leading to intense itching and restlessness of infested sheep. Control measures include dipping. So with the red lice, so you must be able to see the difference. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to treat with red lice. Even if you can inject your ivermectin or doramectin, the red lice is not going to die because it doesn't suck blood. It feeds on the skin debris, on the scabs, and on the wool itself. So you have to dip those infested animals, and you have to remove them. You have to remove them from the flock in order to make sure that it doesn't contaminate other animals. You remove those infested animals to the flock, and then you dip them. But then now it's winter, guys. In winter, you cannot dip early in the morning. You will have to wait up until maybe 11 to 12 o'clock, and then that's when you will dip your animals, because you will have to wait for the temperatures to increase at least. Because now, if you dip early in the morning, you'll be stressing the animals. But remember, it's late. You will have to handle them and then dip them, and the water is cold, which is going to result in your Pasteurella or pneumonia. So you make sure that you wait for 11 to 12 midday, when the temperatures are a little bit better and then it's a bit warmer, and then you dip them. And I advise that you only dip the affected animals, because they become too obvious. You only dip those ones, and then you separate them from the whole flock. Our disease that is of a very importance in winter is abortion. Abortion, guys, it's very problematic in winter. Abortion can be caused by a lot of factors. It can be exotic abortion, it can be hunger, it can be Rift Valley fever, it can be poisonous plant. There are plants that can cause abortion as well, because remember, it's winter, and some of those poisonous plants, they remain green in winter, and then animals eat them, and then they abort. So the first one, it's an exotic abortion. This is a highly contagious disease caused by Chlamydia abortus, and is a major cause of abortion in sheep and goats. It can be spread through infected afterbirth, vaginal discharge, and fecal contamination. That's your exotic abortion. And also, it is very important that you vaccinate your animal before mating. This one you have to do it before mating, because but there is a company that have produced a dead vaccine, which also you can give to pregnant animals as well, if you did not manage to do it before mating. But then at first there was a vaccine of another company, which is a live vaccine that you could not give it to pregnant animals, because they would abort. So you have to make sure that you vaccinate for it before you mate your animals. Maybe 6 weeks or 8 weeks before you mate your animals, and then you vaccinate for exotic abortion. Abortion can also be caused by hunger and malnutrition, more especially in goats. Always make sure that you supply high nutrition feed on the last trimester of gestation period. In goats, I think goat farmers will agree with me on this one. If the goat is suffering and is not getting enough feed, it aborts. It doesn't. It's even better with sheep, because sheep is going to lamb, but then now it will refuse. It's not gonna nest on that lamb. It's gonna give birth to that lamb and then leave it there when it's because of hunger. But with goats, they just abort. They're going to abort, and then you lose. So during the last trimester of pregnancy in goats, you must make sure that you feed your goats. You give them a feed that has got enough energy. Remember, in the last trimester, the lamb is big. It's huge, and as it is growing, it's decreasing the capacity of the rumen. When the capacity of the rumen decreases, it means that there won't be enough food to be taken in. You see, and also, as there is no enough feed to be taken in, and the feed is also of poor quality in winter. That's why I was saying at first, you cannot afford to have your animals heavily pregnant in winter when the felt is not in good condition, because now the lamb is big in there, and it has decreased the rumen capacity. The rumen can no longer carry the grass that it used to carry before, and also the grass is not in good, is not nutritious. So you have to feed your animals to make sure that they don't abort. Yes. And then we move to the next one, guys. Ketosis. I don't know whether you guys have heard of this one before, or you have experienced it before, but ketosis, also known as a twin limb disease, is a disease mainly common in ewes pregnant with twins. It is a metabolic disorder common in sheep and goats during late pregnancy, particularly in ewes carrying multiple lambs. This one, if you've got a sheep or a goat pregnant with twins or triplets, the first sign is for that sheep is going to lie down and struggle to get up. And that's because of ketosis. It's because there is not enough carbohydrates that is eating, so the energy is not enough. You see, it's not getting enough energy for the lambs. Exactly what I was saying that you can only imagine now, the sheep is carrying twins or triplets, like the rumen capacity is very slow, it's very small, and then there is not enough grazing for that particular sheep carrying twins or triplets. So you have to make sure as well that you feed that animal. Unfortunately, with some of our small scale farmers or emerging farmers, we don't have scans to scan our animals, because ideally, after mating, 3 months or 4 months, but with sheep, I think it's about a month or two, and then you will have to scan. You have to scan your animals to see which ones are pregnant with singles, which one are pregnant with twins, which one are pregnant with triplets, so that you can feed them accordingly, according to their nutritional requirements, so that you can avoid having diseases such as ketosis, which is very, very dangerous, and you can lose a lot of animals because of this disease. It arises from deficiency in carbohydrate intake, leading to the breakdown of excessive fat and ketone body production. Yes. And also, if maybe it's carrying twins and then it gets sick and then it doesn't eat, that also will lead to ketosis. So you must always check your animals, make sure that you monitor them. Yeah, which is very important for a farmer. This one is called off, also known as sore mouth or contagious thema is a virus disease affecting goats and sheep. It's highly contagious and can spread through direct contact between animals or through contact with contaminated items. The disease causes painful sores and scabs primarily around the mouth, lips, and nostrils, but can also appear on udders, legs, and feet. This one is controllable, and a lot of people doesn't know that. But then now you must make sure that you check your animals every day. You go on the kraal, you inspect your animals, you check them closely, and then because this one you have to treat it as soon as possible. As soon as you see those sores on the mouth, because you're gonna see one or two or three of them, and then you attack it from the word go. How do you treat it? You can even use Savlon on this one. You take Savlon with warm water, and then you scrape the mouth while there's still few of those sores on the mouth. You scrape it, and then you scrape it in such a way that you make it bleed. You scrape it off so that it can bleed, and then the body is going to realize that this is a sore, and then develop resistance against those sores, and then it will go away. But then if you watch it and you don't seek for help or ask around to farmers that knows how to treat it, then it's gonna get worse like this, up to a situation whereby the whole mouth is covered with these sores, and it becomes difficult for your animal to eat, and then it becomes a disaster. This one is mostly common in kids and lambs, but then sometimes you do get it in older animal. And another thing that you must know, guys, this is a disease that this one is a zoonotic disease. It's zoonotic. This one, when treating it, you must make sure that you wear gloves. You put on your gloves, and you put on your mask, and then you make sure that you don't get contaminated, because humans as well can suffer from this disease. And also, you must quarantine animals suffering from off. You don't mix it with other animals, and you must have a sick bay, which is very, very, very important, guys. A sick animal must not stay with healthy animal, because now it's going to affect all these other animals. It's biosecurity. When it's sick, you separate it, you put it, you treat it, and then when it's okay, you see that it has fully recovered, and then that's when you can mix it with other animals. Yeah, off, guys, off. That's a disease that you have to treat. Okay, and then plan for winter, be ready for winter, minimize losses in winter. Prevention is better than cure. Yes, guys. When approaching winter, you must make sure that you plan for winter. You make sure that you've got feed. Firstly, you've got rested camps for your animals to have enough grazing. You've got enough feed. You buy feed in summer when it's still cheaper and not in high demand, and then that will minimize winter losses. And then you vaccinate also, which is very, very important, guys. Make sure that you vaccinate your animals. Your animals must be fully vaccinated, and then you're going to know that you have done your job, and your animals are going to be healthy, and your animals are going to be in a good condition as well. And this topic, I think, is taking us back to the webinar that I did previously, where I was talking about the how do you our previous topic was planning for breeding season, whereby I was telling you guys that you must plan for a breeding season. You must have a breeding season, so that you don't have animals that are heavily pregnant in winter. I know that animals are going to mate naturally in December, when the grass is in good condition, or in November when the grass is in good condition. But then now, when they mate in December or in January or in February, those animals are going to lamb at a wrong time, and are going to be heavily pregnant at a wrong time. You see, so please make sure that you manage your breeding season. You have a breeding season so that your animals lamb at the correct time when the felt is in good condition, and your animals are going to give birth to healthy lamb, and also have enough milk for the lambs. Now we're gonna move to questions. I'm gonna allow you guys to raise up your hands, and then I point you, and then you answer, and then you unmute yourself, and then I'm gonna try to answer your question. And also some of the farmers are going to answer as well. I'm gonna give them opportunity to answer to one of the questions if maybe I see the need. Yes, guys, my presentation ends here. So now you can answer, like you can ask questions, and then I'm gonna try to answer as much as I can. Yes, Zinlovu, you can shoot. Zinlovu. Zindlovu Mzileni, you can unmute yourself and ask, sir. I'm listening. You guys are all muted. And it means that I will have to unmute you guys on my side. Take. Okay, guys, we're struggling with some technical issues here. I want to unmute you all. Yes.
I'm fine on my side.
Hello?
Yes, I'm fine on my side.
Yes, you can shoot.
Oh, yes, thanks, man. Yeah, just my question, man. How nutritious is the debris of sorghum into sheep and cattle during winter?
The debris of sorghum.
Yes.
They very nutritious, but now the problem is that maybe it can be difficult for them to like, they're not palatable. They're nutritious, but they're not palatable. It's gonna be hard for them to mechanically digest, like to chew them and stuff. Maybe if you don't, if you have a hammer mill, and then maybe you mill it, and then mix with some chop and some concentrates that have got protein and energy, maybe it can be a little bit better.
Thanks.
Sure. Tambo. Zugile. Mic muted. Hmm. And I'm still busy trying to unmute you all here so that you can be able to ask questions. Hello? Guys, we're having technical issues with regards to the mic. Can I'm gonna answer the questions on the Q&As or on the chat box, because now with the mics, I think I'm having difficulties to unmute you.
Can you hear me from my side?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, you're speaking to Mr. Mtuapine. I just bought, I'm a small scale farm. I just started now. Ne?
Yes.
So I just want you to provide me with the basic medication that I need to give my animals, you see. I bought 2 sheep that were pregnant. One just gave birth.
Yes.
So the other one is still pregnant, you see. But I didn't do much. I don't know anything about farming. So I just need the basic stuff that I can give it to the animals.
Okay. Where did you buy your animals? Did you buy them locally, or you transported them from a different area from yours?
I bought them from a different area from mine, but not very far.
Not very far.
Yeah.
Okay. What you can do is it's maybe you're gonna start this vaccination on your lambs. You will when your lambs are 3 weeks old, you will have to vaccinate them using a broad spectrum vaccine, as I have indicated earlier. You can go to a co-op and buy any vaccine. You've got your Multivax Ps, you've got your Oviclos, you've got your One Shot Ultra, you've got your Covaxin 10, you've got your Decashos. There's plenty of vaccines that you can choose from. So you at 3 weeks, when your lambs are 3 weeks old, because you did not vaccinate when the ewes were 6 weeks before, like 6 weeks before they lamb, you did not vaccinate. So now you will be forced to vaccinate at 3 weeks, and then 6 weeks later you will have to boost the vaccine, and also you will have to deworm your lambs using, you can use a Lintex, which is specifically for lambs and calves, and it's very user friendly when it comes to lambs. It's not going to be too strong for them and cause them to suffer from pulpy kidney. So you can use Lintex in your lambs after you have vaccinated them. Make sure that you vaccinate them 3 weeks later. It's safe for you to deworm. 6 weeks later, it will be safe for you to deworm, because they will be fully, 3 weeks later, because they will be vaccinated against pulpy kidney. So yeah, I think at the moment that's all that you can do. And after the session, I'm gonna contact you. I'm gonna email you guys to maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna email you guys the presentation, and also you can email me so that I can give you my number, and I'm gonna guide you further.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome, brother.
Thank you.
Guys, who's next? Yes, you can shoot anyone.
Again, it's me, ne? If there's no one else.
Yes, there's no one else. So you can ask again.
With regards to the tails of the lambs, when can I?
You can cut them. You can cut them at 10 days. It is advisable that you cut the tails while the lambs are still young, to make sure that they do not bleed too much. Because if you wait up until they're too old, then the veins are too big, and then the bleeding is going to be heavy. But if you cut tails when they're 10 days old, they're still young and the veins are still too small, and then they're going to be fine. And you must make sure that you cut the tail at the joint. You must fill the joint with your finger, and then you cut exactly on the joint.
Okay. Is there anything that I need to apply after that?
Yes, you can apply wound spray.
Or the wound spray?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Guys, can't you unmute yourselves on your side? Because I'm struggling to unmute you on my side. Okay, I'm gonna read the question here on the Q&A. Elizabeth, if goat get abortion and baby is big, then it's fine for 12 hours. And it starts screaming and grooming. Then when I check at the back, it was swollen. Put that tablet that cleans the thing that comes out was smelling bad, like it's rotten. I think that goat, the kid died inside, and then you guys did not realize that the kid was dead inside. So it gave birth to a kid that had died for a very long time in the stomach. Mhm. Yes. And then, guys, I'm really trying to unmute you also, that you can make our lives easy. But then now, I'm struggling. I can't find the button where I can unmute you all. Mm-mm.
Click on your mic quickly. Just answer some questions.
Yeah, guys, I'm just gonna answer the questions on the chat box. I'm clicking on the person with the hand, and it's not responding. It's just not responding. I hear that someone says that I must click on the person with the hand and then click the mic, but it's not responding. I don't know why. But other people are able to speak.
Answer some questions in the chat.
My sheep normally give triplets. However, one never survived after a month. Not sure what can be done, or is it normal to lose a lamb? No, it's not. It's not normal to lose a lamb. Maybe the one that died was the third lamb to be born, and it did not get colostrum from the mother. The first two ones were born earlier, and they got too strong. And the third one, and also with triplets, you have to help them. You have to help them. You have to help the mother by making sure that all the lambs get the colostrum, because colostrum is very important for your lambs. If your lamb did not get colostrum, then it's going to be weak, because the colostrum contains all the antibodies that are required by the lambs. So you have to monitor them, make sure that they all strong and then they all suckling from the mother. And the mother is taking care of all of them, because sometimes it's only they tend to reject the third lamb and love the two lambs and then reject the third one. So you must monitor and make sure that all the lambs, the mother is taking care of them and letting them suck as well. But it's not normal to lose a lamb. And also you must have artificial milk to help the mother. Maybe it was being overpowered by the other two lambs. And Sidi saying Manamela, in addition to Elizabeth's question, that goat died the following day, what could have been the cause and how can we prevent it from happening again? I'm now lost here. There is a question here which says that how do we select male lambs to make them a ram? I'm sure that you're selecting those lambs to make them rams, and then you're going to sell them. You're not gonna let them mate on your head. You're gonna let them grow first, but some of the lambs, they show characteristics of being lambs at a very young age, and then you let them grow. As they grow, you're gonna see male lambs that show characteristics of being a rams, with a stronger face, long body length, correct body width, and yeah, you can see the body build of that. It's a correct body build, and these lambs can be proper rams, and then you give them a chance to grow. Once they as they are growing, you will see the ones that are falling behind in terms of the characteristics of a ram, of how a ram should look like. And I think that's a topic on its own, a selection of breeding rams, or selection of a ewe, or how should the perfect ewe look like, or how should the perfect ram should look like. But you can be able to see lambs that have got the potential of being rams at a very young age, and then you let them grow up until winning, and even after winning, you don't castrate, you do selection of the ones that you think they show better characteristics in terms of conformation, body build, the head, the walking, the legs, and everything. And then if they are perfect, then you select them. I'm gonna check the questions, guys, because this unmuting of mics impalates. Tabang Malisa, I bought 10 sheep heavily pregnant. 3 gave birth without issues. The fourth one died 3 days after giving birth due to diarrhea. We bottle fed the lambs for 5 days and died of cold front. And the other 5 sheep were having diarrhea. We had to give powder that stopped diarrhea and superfood vitamin. What could be the problem of diarrhea? Maybe those animals were suffering from coccidiosis. Then you should have used a sulfur-based antibiotic. It's plenty of them. Salmeterol plus NF, Ecosulf, Mexisulf. It's plenty of them. You should have injected them with the sulfur-based antibiotic, and which I believe should always be there on your first aid kit. Oxytetracycline, sulfur-based antibiotic, super boost for diarrhea, and I think it was going to help as well. These boosters were going to help as well, because those animals were losing too much nutrients, so it was going to help with you if you had it on your first aid kit. So yeah, I think those animals were suffering from coccidiosis. That's why they were having diarrhea like that, or else a change in diet as well. If you're giving them a feed that they're not used to, it can cause diarrhea on them as well, which is very problematic. Can you kindly share your presentation? I'm gonna share my presentation with all of you guys. I'm gonna send it. I've got your emails as you are registering. We've got your emails, and then I'm gonna share the presentation with you all. Don't worry with that one. What can I use for my cattle for winter, and which type of vaccine can I use? For your cattle in winter, you have to supplement them with protein. Use anything that have got protein. There's winter leak. Winter leak have got has protein in it. There is a premix 450. There's plenty of products that have got protein in it, but in winter, make sure that you supplement your animals with protein. My two goats who gave birth to kids with lower jaw defect, and the jaw was shorter than the upper jaw. The kids were healthy, however, they struggled to suck and they died. This happened in June. Then other goat gave birth to the kid uh, without fear. I introduced them into Maxi block in May, and sheep and goat leak. What could have potentially caused this? With your kids that had a long jaw and lower jaw, maybe the father is or the mother or is having that problem, because once you have an animal that is looking like that, you have to cull it. Those animal, I mean, what to call it, natural selection happened there. Those animals did not make it because of natural selection. You were supposed to cull them anyway, even if they had made it. You were when they were old enough, you were supposed to cull them because they were not gonna grow well. They were going to struggle to graze or to browse. So natural selection happened, and they died. They couldn't make it. Any recommendation of where can one buy? When is that question now? Any recommendation of where can one buy, guys? Any recommendations of where can one buy good goats for startup purpose within the Northwest? Or sir, please send me an email and then I will have to find out for you, guys. The time is up. I think some of the questions I will answer them. You can email me and then I'll send you my numbers, and then I'm gonna answer some of the questions privately. I'm all yours. I'm gonna give you my number, and then I'm gonna answer some of your questions privately. I won't have a problem with that. Because I love to interact with farmers and I love to see farmers grow. And I'm sorry that I couldn't unmute you all. Maybe we're having some technical issues with the laptop or something. But thank you for joining me, and I hope that you guys have gained a lot with this present webinar of today. And I'm gonna make sure that I share it with you guys. I'm gonna make it a point that I share the presentation with you, and then I'm gonna be able to answer questions further. Thank you for joining, guys. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Bye and good night. Hey.